when the market crashed, back when, I don't know, 06, 07, 08, we probably, right after that, we probably got up to like 900 units at one point.
Jeez. What are you currently at now?
So when you're at 900 units and you go down to like 400 or 500, it's like a day off.
It's a day off.
It's vacation.
Yeah. So we got, probably close to 500 doors. We own here, Brockton, Providence. We're buying up stuff out in like Wareham.
Nice.
The rents have gone up, and we like the passive income. And as an owner at Remax, we like having the signs in the ground.
Episode 11, Mortgage Daddies. We finally got Ron Oliveira to join us.
The infamous Ronnie O.
I've been evading you guys.
Between vacations and
Aruba trips.
It's been a struggle, but we made it happen. Every time I show up to his though, so this is a little different now. I get to ask the questions.
I'm not used to this.
Yeah, this is going to be a little different for you.
But you made it when you're on Mortgage Daddies.
That's what we keep telling people.
That's it. Mic drop. After this, I am retiring.
Yeah, you can't go back
selling
to your
everything.
Now.
Yeah, we're not going back.
You have to step your game up.
I'm all done. Dude, I'm actually proud and honored. I'm surprised you guys even want me here. I'd be out here in front of Al's places at night trying to get the next huck to it girl. I'm like, why the want me on here?
We gotta get you on Mortgage Daddies.
Or I'd be like that kid. Excuse me, sir. What do you do in New Bedford, Massachusetts to drive a new Mercedes-Benz convertible? Do you sell drugs? Have you ever been broke? Have you ever been to prison?
Man.
All questions we have for the show.
All questions we have
for the show.
But I'm here and I'm proud to be here. Thank you guys. You guys are the best in the business, and I appreciate you guys letting me come on here, chop it up with you.
Thank you, Ron, man. It's a pleasure having you on. I've known you since I started in the business, which now seems like it's forever ago. I'm shaving the sides of my hair. Looks like you're chasing me with the grays.
I do. I was like, please, I hope these guys did not shave today. I was like, if I come in, I'm going to be embarrassed if they're clean shaven for this thing.
Absolutely not.
Summertime stuff.
We just bring it real every week. So, yeah, let's jump into it and learn a little bit about Team Rosso and Ron Oliveira and how you've gotten to become the mogul you are. I know we refer to you as Uncle Ronnie around here. So,
where did that start? How did that start, by the way?
Dude, I don't know, man. It's, full transparency. I just turned 51, been in the business for 25 years. So I started out with a lot of the legends in the business, the older guys that opened up a lot of these franchises. So kind of fell somewhere in the middle. Now I'm starting to kind of be like the older guy. That's good and bad. You know what I mean? I'm still
hit you with Uncle Ronnie 5-10 years now. It'll be Grandpa Ronnie.
Yeah, I don't know about Grandpa Ronnie. You can still hit me up with some tequila and some high noons on a Friday. I'm still trying to hold on to my youth.
All of us
are. No, I think a lot of it is I really enjoy bringing people up. I think that's been part of my legacy is I really believe in bringing up the people around me. They're putting in work into my business, into my culture. So, I've been blessed. So why not take time and make them better and make their families' lives better?
I mean, since you and I started working together 4 years ago, probably, there's been countless people that have come onto the team, kind of figured out the way you do things and mimic it and continue that success. I mean, I don't think there's anybody, though, that has the amount of units or has the amount of properties that you have, which I think a lot of people don't understand, or they see some of the bad highlights. But how many units?
That's another pain point.
Yeah.
Real estate is one, right? And owning property is like a whole nother one. But that was always the draw. That's what kind of got me into it. So when the market crashed, back when, I don't know, 06, 07, 08, we probably, right after that, we probably got up to like 900 units at one point.
Jeez. What are you currently at now?
So when you're at 900 units and you go down to like 400 or 500, it's like a day off.
It's a day off.
It's vacation.
Yeah. So we got, probably close to 500 doors. We own here, Brockton, Providence. We're buying up stuff out in like Wareham. Nice. The rents have gone up, and we like the passive income. And as an owner at Remax, we like having the signs in the ground, so we're also flipping a lot of properties out there. But I think if you can tolerate it, if you have a stomach for it, owning real estate and getting that passive income is great. I think everybody should have some of that in their life, whether it's Airbnbs, owning some rentals, even if it's just one single family rental that, you rent out, it's good, to build up that generational wealth. I think I saw something the other day. It's like, if you retire with $1 million in Massachusetts, how long do you think that's going to last? Did you guys see that?
7 years.
I mean, at the what does it take now? Like 300,000 for somebody to live comfortably in Massachusetts is the average income needed. So, you're going to be at 3.5 years.
So when I was growing
Depends
up,
on
like,
how much Tito's is being done on Friday.
if you had $1 million in the bank, you made it, right? Or if you had like 2 or 3 multifamilies,
when we were growing up, it was like $1 million.
$1 million bucks. That's the goal, and you're good. Now they're saying like $1 million if you retire, that'll last you less than 9 years in Massachusetts, and if you go down south, it's 3 times that.
Wow.
So that's why we're still in the grind. We're trying to help people. You know, like if you're just starting out, how else can you double your wealth? How else can you double your income? You know, and it's always a good way. And we're on the front lines. We get to see these deals coming in. You know, we've got a lot of good investors on there. So everyone gets a lot of at-bats, and we encourage them to get into real estate.
And when you started with all the investment properties and buying up, I'm guessing there were a lot of 2, 3 unit, 4 unit, 5 units. Mm-hmm. It seems like over the last couple of years, you've really started kind of unloading some of those and then buying bigger buildings.
Well, those are the building blocks to the bigger buildings, right? Yeah. You can't own 100 doors till you can save up the money and the equity. I wasn't born rich. Yeah. You know, my father was a fisherman. You know, my mother worked in these fish houses. That's why, you know, we've been here our whole life because that's where my parents made their living. And we lived in these multifamilies. So every week I see this is back in the day where the landlord could just walk in your house,
grab the cash,
and get the cash off the table, and not have to worry about getting bit by like a pit bull or something. You know, they still get the money. So I'm like, hey, that guy's like pretty well respected. You know, he comes in, you know, rent's the first priority. They got it there on the table waiting. And, you know, then I saw he owned like a few properties, and everyone always went to him when they needed a place to live or whatever. We took care of his property, and they're like, wow, this is what I want to do when I get older.
It's awesome.
I wasn't even thinking about being a realtor. I was just thinking like, hey, you know, if I can add that, you know, that's probably create some generational wealth.
I feel like a lot of people want to do that, but they start with 1 or 2, and then they have a hard time making that jump to either keep building because they don't have enough capital at that point. How were you able to buy so many so quickly?
Well, we were in different times, obviously. Like back then, like we started out with. I don't want to divulge all my secrets. No, but back then, I think it was easier. When the market crashed, there was more availability. So if you were a player in that market and you had resources, you could really scale your business pretty fast. Especially we had already owned some before the crash. And, you know, we had always done well with those. And so we were sitting on some equity going into that market. And, you know, you build up some partnerships. And that's what helped get it going. You know, but yeah, we were all in. Like all the stories you hear, like maxing out credit cards, home equity lines. Like, hey, we got to get another one. This is all going to shake out. There's a bag of money at the end of the rainbow, right?
Yep.
But you have to believe and trust in the process, and you know, think that it's proven, right? A lot of people own real estate. It's proven it works if you have the stomach for it.
Now, how long have you been doing this? Everybody thinks that they can buy all these properties in a short period of time. I mean, how long? When did you buy your first property?
God, I think I was like 21, 22.
So you've been doing this for 30 years.
This is like when stuff was like super cheap. I don't even say it. It's like, then I flip a property. I think I made like $5,000, and I'm like, awesome. I'm going to get another Mustang GT, put another booming system in my car, you know, and I was happy to do that. I wasn't even thinking at that point. And then got married young, like been with Stacy forever since high school, had Haley young, and like, all right. We got to stop thinking about Mustangs and start thinking about our future. So yeah, we did all the house hacks. Started with a 2-family, then single family. You know, then we took some equity out, bought the next 3-family, and then we hit a market where we were able to refinance. And it was always about saving money for the next one. And then we hit a market where you didn't need a lot of money, you know, to get the next one. Banks were kind of giving them away. And then you know, we hit the world of hard money, which again helped you double and triple down like
on everything.
And then you know, you're able to accumulate a lot pretty quickly.
You were never afraid of the market, no matter when you bought.
No, I'm never. There's always a market. So we usually have like that trend where if the market was going to crash tomorrow, people still need a place to live.
Yep.
So when it crashes, we're buying multifamilies, we're buying investment properties. As it starts to turn, we start to do more flips, which we do a ton of flips. Then we start to land bank, and then we start doing new construction. And then like now we're trying to buy bigger buildings with more doors under one roof. Then the cycle starts again. However it is, everyone says it's like a 10-year cycle. You know, the last cycle kind of lasted a little bit longer. But that's where you got to watch. You have good friends who are bankers. Like, hey, what are the people on the back end who are actually putting the money out on the street doing? Are they tightening the belt? What are they projecting? And, that's when you kind of know, like, hey, it's time to start turning the corner and, focusing on the next chapter.
How many houses a year are you building now?
We're usually like, that part's probably like right around like 30 houses,
30 houses, 400 something units. How many flips?
As many as possible. I don't know. Last time I checked, we're probably doing well over 50, 60, 70 a year.
God, how many people does it take to run all this?
A village.
Yeah.
It takes a village.
You guys have the #1 team in Massachusetts now, right?
#1 in
Real
Massachusetts in the REMAX
Never
system.
mind everything else that you're doing.
And we're in the top 20 teams in the country, large teams in the REMAX system.
That's awesome.
So it's the thrill of the deal. I'm not the broker on the back end. I'm the sales guy. I want to be in the trenches with people. I want to be out there in the field. And I think that's what's kind of helped keep me on my toes.
Yeah, one of the biggest things, in the success that I've had and the success that I've seen other people have is you have to start with somebody that's successful, knows what they're doing, and can teach you and wants to spend the time to teach you, but also can give you some sort of a blueprint. Otherwise, I see so many people that come in, especially on the real estate side, because more people are in and out of the real estate side than on the mortgage side, but they come in and they're like, no, I can do that. I don't need anybody. They sit on their own. They don't have any leads. They don't have any money.
Yeah.
They burn themselves out and they're gone. Where you guys have it built up, you have a system in place, you have leads in place, you have staff in place to be able to help train these people. I don't think I would ever be here today if I didn't start with him, because he had that blueprint in that time and those connections. If I would have went and started at some bank where nobody's going to care to help you out, I would never have had those opportunities.
Yeah, you need somebody. You need mentors. I wish I had more mentors in my business early on. Because I think back then when we kind of started, everyone's like, real estate was like hush hush, like, oh, this is
Doesn't
mine.
seem to be like that anymore.
Now it's like, no, dude, you work in my company. This listing's everybody's listing. We're here. We want to train everybody. Like, our business is an open book, and it's all about really putting in the time and putting in the grind. If you're not built for this, then you probably shouldn't. You're not going to feel comfortable at my brokerage, because you have a lot of successful people there who are putting in the work, and we encourage it. It's like, listen, we're giving you everything. So don't sit on the sidelines. Come in here and get on the field. Start taking advantage of the time with the John Alfonsos, the Lindsays, the Sandys,
John's
the
a perfect
Fabios.
story. The success that he's had since he was working construction and then bought a couple multis, and now he's up to
hundreds
of units as well.
Yep, we met at the Landlord Association meeting and then hit it off, man. He's like one of my best friends.
Yeah, John's awesome. I love him. He's great. I always enjoy the Christmas parties every year.
And he's got a belly like a billy goat, like we do. Like, we know that there's always going to be people that are going to owe us money. We know that there's going to be issues and turnover, and but we know, like, at the end of it, he's going to pass it on. He's got his family, he's got his sons and daughters that are going to be into the business, and it's become a family business. And those are always one of the stories that I tell, when we can pass that on. And like, Sandy's doing it now. She's got a staging business. She's flipping properties. Her husband was in construction. He's running their jobs. Her brother is the painter. And, and just seeing how we're building like those family businesses, and you're really changing everyone's, the legacy of the family, I guess. Like, that's where it turned, right? Like, we went from the fishing industry into the real estate business.
And then just took it over.
And yes, our plan is to take it over. Yes, 1,000%.
Taking it over right now.
He definitely,
definitely
trying.
How do you keep all of those maintained? Like 500 units. I think I had like 6 at once, and I wanted to pull my hair out. And they were single families. You own 20 unit, 40 unit complexes, some multifamilies, 3 and 4 units.
It's not easy, and I'm not saying we do a perfect job, because listen, you're dealing with people. Right, we're not dealing with robots, so you never know when somebody's going to lose their job, or they're going to get divorced, boyfriend and girlfriend split up, or whatever, or people are going through some shit. You never know. There's a lot of depression in this area, and a lot of mental health issues, and you never know when somebody's life is going to take a bad turn, and then they're in your house. And then they don't care about the trash anymore. They don't care about the neighbor. They don't care about what's going on. They don't care about your property.
And you're not driving by it every day to check on it.
No, I assume, like, hey, I'm renting to an adult. they come in, they don't come in looking like a scrub. They fill out an application. They have a good work history. They haven't been evicted. They pick the property. They pay up front. And then you think, hey, this is going to be good for the both of us. And then their lives change. And then it's not good, but you're still in my house. And then it's going to take a couple of months to get you into court. But payment plans, they apply for assistance. And it's just like, and a lot of people don't have the stomach for it. You're like, man, why isn't this so much easier like you see it on TV? Why are you just not showing up at my house with an envelope of cash every month?
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Those days don't happen. But I'm blessed. I do have a lot of great tenants, and I do have compassion for the people that are going through some shit, And you have to have that in that business. Just like in real estate, right? We have a lot of top producing people, and we love everybody to come into the office, have that kumbaya, but you got to have the compassion for some people that are going through some shit, or maybe their business isn't where it is, and what can you do to pick them back up?
Yeah.
What's the goal in the next 5 years? I always tell you to sell and move to Aruba in Florida. Just why do you do this?
Now spends 26 weeks a year in Aruba.
I want to become the biggest brokerage in New England. We have a lot of people in our office, in our company, that want to grow with the company, that are going to be there, that are coming into leadership, and they want to stay, and they have a vision. And back in the day, the owner, I think I came up with this saying, they never want to give up the keys to the castle. And I would never mention any names, but that's where I see a lot of relationships going south, is those owners never want to give up the keys to the castle. And I'm like, listen, man, I'm here. I have no problem. Take the keys.
Take it all over.
Come on over. Get a piece of it. Yeah. Let's keep growing it together. Like, I'm not scared of that. You're not going to take anything away from me. You know what I mean? So in return, you're going to help me grow the business. And I'm in a position where I can help you financially, and become a part of this. And I'm a big believer in sweat equity. That's how I got into it. When we're buying all these multifamilies, when I was partnering with Al Santos and those guys, they weren't the ones in these places, emptying them out. Doing the trash outs and going through them. But they provided a lot of value, getting us the financing and the mentorship. And they let me be the sweat equity guy. I feel like that's my way of paying it forward. It's like, give somebody else a chance who's going to give you their heart and soul into your company and treat it like it's theirs, and then actually give them some, or bring them into the next opportunity. Like, we're a global company. Talk about me having doors. How many doors does RE/MAX have, right? So bringing them into that and giving them a piece of it, that's what's going to keep them in leadership and ownership for a long time.
I see that's one of the things that separate you and your business and your mindset. It's really your mindset. So like helping everybody else grow, right? Like, you're good. Ron Oliveira is good. You just don't sell another piece of property tomorrow.
I could go home.
You're good. Just go to Aruba.
I could take my ball and go home and be all right.
It's just all about helping the next guy up, right? Giving them the opportunity to succeed and then thrive in their life and pass it forward to the next person.
Dude, that really does it for me. And I know a lot of people might not believe that, but they don't know me, right? But the people in my inner circle know that. And, over time, people see that, how many people we help. Like, how many jobs do we create? Besides housing, how many jobs do we create? We have 130 agents at RE/MAX, probably 70, 80 subcontractors. How much money are we spending locally? That's what people don't see. Yeah. The 20 times a day my guys are at Lowe's and Home Depot, how many plumbing supply places, electrical supply places. People don't see, when you're in the real estate business, how much of that you're giving back to the community in multiple ways.
I will say, and I think you have a chance to defend yourself a little bit, because sometimes you get blasted on social media. Just recently, being a landlord is difficult, where they kind of blast out, the violations and stuff like that. But I think what a lot of people don't realize is the amount of units per violation that you have.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty, there's some people on that list that I know that own 1 or 2, and they have more violations per property than you have, like, total.
Listen, the rules are the rules. I always tell them, like, listen, I don't expect you to change the rules for me, and whatever I got to pay along the way. It's part of the business. Tenants, toilets, and trash, they all work together, right?
Yeah.
And not everybody takes pride in where they live. How many buildings do I buy that are completely empty? Completely empty. We just went right through it and we put the people in there. Where does the garbage come from? It doesn't come from my house.
It's a broken toilet.
Hey, it was so funny. I was on the Zoom hearing, and and I was walking into my house. I was on the Zoom here. I'm like, guys, I'm getting into my house right now, to appeal the ticket. And they're like, oh, are you at your residence, Mr. Oliveira? I'm like, yes. Exhibit A, my house. Do you see any garbage over here that I'm bringing to any of these properties?
Toilets.
Yeah, no broken toilets. But I know that it's part of the business and I accept it. But what they don't tell you is if you do the math, right? I got 30 tickets. So if you take 400 doors, 400 or 500 doors, times 4.5 times a month, times 12 months, I'm responsible for the garbage going out 20,000 times in a year. So what do I average? It's actually like one trash ticket a week. So I think that we're doing pretty good with the amount of properties that we own.
Honestly, pretty good. I mean, I have way less properties. I have 3, and we have a brand new unit. Just redid it. Tenants complaining to the city about it. She broke the toilet. I mean, it was a brand new toilet.
I remember. I think I saw it. We walked through it.
I'm like, what is happening? This is crazy. So
yeah, and dude, the amount of money that we spend at ABC, like private haulers, like we're almost like $100,000 like a year.
People accumulate so much junk so quickly.
Yeah, and you get a lot of different personalities with tenants. Not everyone's gonna want to recycle. Not everyone's gonna take the time, especially in a multifamily. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna condense this dude's garbage. No. You know what I mean? It's like, boop, I'm gonna throw the bag in there. See you later. Let somebody else come figure it out. But that's, some people tend to believe that is possible. It's not. You know what I mean? And you could have like 3 people that really like each other that are gonna take the time to sort this stuff out, but.
All it takes is one person not care.
Throw something in the recycle bin. A neighbor throws something in the recycle bin, or they leave a bag of trash. Like, hey, you know what? I'm not touching their trash. It's already like filled up. I'm just leaving it on the side. Boom. The first ticket's a warning. The second ticket's $25. The next ticket's $50. The next one's $150. And I'm like, when does this reset? So if I own these properties for 20 years, now what? The ticket's $500 for that same trash bag. That's a warning for the next guy.
I wonder if they'd take your taxes down if you just ended up having private trash pickup.
I would do that all day long. They
just
don't.
Had like an ABC. I have
They don't
private at my house.
But so it's part of the business, and I think like yes, our city is cleaner these days. I'm glad it holds some people accountable because I've owned that property on the side of that property, and I'm like, dude, why aren't they here writing this dude tickets right now? But. This guy doesn't give a shit. He's letting his property go. So the bank's ultimately going to pay those tickets, and I've been through that. So I get that stress, too. And I'm like, when the hell are they going to do something about this guy? But
I just like Exhibit A, Ron Oliveira's house. See, no trash in here.
All the time. Like, I'm like, dude, you guys know how much we spend? And then the time that tenant's getting evicted. Like, you think they give a shit?
Oh my God.
They know every time they throw a trash bag out there, it's costing me money. They don't care. They're like, oh, he's throwing me out, so I'm going to make his life miserable and the other tenants' lives miserable. But that's the dynamic of that business. It's a people business. You got to get really thick skin, but it's I think the good far outweighs the bad. Yes, don't go out and buy 100 units tomorrow. Buy 1 3-family or a 2-family. Manage that, and then as you start to grow, consider management companies, hiring somebody to help. And I think it's to their benefit.
That seems like a ton to deal with.
Listen, I didn't come to bring the tempo down on the show. I can't even bring it up. I
think it's impressive.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. It's a lot of work. Hey, it's
on top of doing everything else.
It's either that or I could have been on a fishing boat. Like, I don't know. I'm going to roll the dice.
I think you made the right choice.
I'm going to roll the dice.
Well, with that being said, we have a couple questions for you. How do you envision your career trajectory over the next 5 years?
Over the next 5 years, like I said, I think we want to have the #1 brokerage in all of New England. I think that we can do it. We have some great people there that, again, want to grow. We have a lot of boots on the ground, and I think we have a good plan. I'm a true believer in being a franchisee. So we always take the time, go to conventions, learn, and put a lot of time into.
It helps that it's in Vegas most of the time too, right?
It doesn't matter where it is. I would have went, but it is good.
In Montana.
We don't want them to change it. But yeah, I think. Plus, there's a lot of people I think that are going to be retiring. At that age, there's a lot of people who have been in here for a long time that are going to be getting out, and there's going to be some opportunities for us to buy and scale. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. As far as the buildings, I think we're looking into building bigger projects. Like, I'd love to get to thousands of doors, more market rate units, and probably look a little bit, out of state maybe. spread our wings a little bit.
That's awesome. Do you think it'd be easier to do that in other states where the regulations or the rules are a little more favorable to the landlord versus the renter?
I think like it's a different. I think it's a different clientele once you get into those bigger apartment complexes, depending where they are, what amenities they have. But I think like that's probably like the next step for us. You know, maybe, you know, whether it's move some equity from here to there or partner in with some people. We're starting to meet people in that arena, and that's why I was like, say, I want to be the brokest guy in the room.
Yeah. Like those big mill buildings, like get something like
Not
that.
necessarily mills, but like a lot of garden style units. You
Yeah.
go into Connecticut, you go into Rhode Island, you go down south. There's definitely opportunities to buy. It's just people think like it seems like it's a million miles away, but it's a 3-hour flight. You know, and you get a good management company. Again, we're talking to people who are mentoring us now, and we're learning from them. And you know, they've tested it and it's proven. So it kind of takes a little bit of the fear out of it. You're like, what's another 100 units? Rip off the Band-Aid.
5 years. Once we get into thousands of units in 5 years. God bless you. In regards to your team and you know, Remax Vantage, I would definitely say you guys have put together a great leadership core to help you guys build out. So you guys have a good run here in the next 5 years to be the top in New England. I think you should just go top US.
Think so? It'd be nice. I'd like to try.
Don't limit yourself.
Yeah.
Shoot for New England.
You asked 5 years. That's 10 years.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
like a
10-year
10-year
goal
plan.
would be number one in the country. But I think that we are blessed. We do have a lot of people who want to grow. You know, we got maybe that next Ronnie O, you know what I mean? That really wants to put the time in and is vested into this business. And things are going to change. I think in the next 3 to 4 weeks, there's going to be a huge game changer in this industry, and it's going to be all about the professionals who want to put the time in, who want to learn, who aren't scared to sell. You know, yes, you got to sign your buyer's agency contracts. You know, the thing that scares people to death, they walk around with it in their pocket and they're scared to bring it out and get somebody to sign to commit to work with them. Like, this is it. So it's going to separate the men from the boys and the ladies from the babies. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to it. Our industry deserves it. You know, our industry deserves it to be held at a higher standard and have more respect for the people in it. Not just, anybody can become a realtor. You know what I mean? Like, get your license out of a Happy Meal box. You know what I mean? No, it's like we're professionals. We put the time in. It's constant education, constant learning, constant training. And I'm blessed that my brokerage, a lot of people show up. We have multiple trainings every week. A lot of people show up. They take advantage. It's whether it's a Tuesday morning, Saturday mornings. You know, you guys have been on those Zoom meetings. Like, who the hell wants to get out of bed at 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning? They do. You know what I mean? They want to learn. Like, hey, what's the next couple of nuggets that we can get? You know, we're trying to bring in more high-level speakers and trainers, you know, to, you know, help them sharpen the sword.
Want to finish it off with a couple of our Jenga questions here? You want to try it?
What do you want me to do?
I don't know. The
I'm
girls
not
get
scared of
mad
anyone.
if we don't do it, so we have to.
All right.
Go ahead, pull one out.
Anyone?
Anyone you want.
Right in the top.
That's like cheating.
Right there.
I don't even think that's how you play.
Right there.
No wonder why they're the number one team.
Yeah,
just cheating.
It's like, bam.
Who in this room would be the first to go in a zombie apocalypse?
Oh man, I think we got to go with Javi. Look how jacked he is.
Yeah.
You'd
I
send
think
Avi in?
Yeah, definitely first. I'll go behind him.
I mean, if we go into a zombie apocalypse, I already know what I'm doing. I'm just throwing myself out there, letting him kill me, and I'm
Just
done.
moving
Like,
on
I'm
with
good.
life.
Like, just it's cashing.
You don't want to
in
be
out.
like in that Will Smith movie, like hiding out.
I'm
Forever
not-
all by himself with a dog.
Yeah, I
don't
just
know
don't
about
see
that.
it. I don't see it.
I know everyone's into like all that planning and all that prep. Like my wife bought all these MRE meal things, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to live if
On
I have
MREs.
to like go do that
Yeah, I don't think
forever.
I want to live.
Like if there's no cable, I can't.
Do you remember the last time you had filet? No, we've been eating MREs for the last 6 months. Like, I'm good. I don't know.
That's definitely not living. I think like, yeah, come get me, call it a day, see you later.
If I didn't have my kids, 100% just throw me out to the zombie apocalypse. I think I'd fight it for as long as for them, and then after that,
I think we're definitely going to outlive it. I don't see it happening.
no, I think
I think we're
good
going to
on
be
that.
all right.
All right, one more.
I don't
You got the side eye to smell.
I didn't write these, so if
Yee.
it's real bad, you can skip it.
Have you ever lied to your boss?
Ooh, have you?
I don't have a boss.
He's like,
I am the boss. I lie to myself and say I'm skinny. And I'm
I've
not.
definitely lied to my bosses.
It's like, oh, that mirror angle looks real good.
So
today.
before you became partners, Mr. Miles was your boss. Did you ever lie?
No.
He fibbed like, oh, I'm going on a mortgage appointment. He ends up at the country club.
Oh yeah, 100%. I do that all the time.
I don't think I mean, he usually begs me to leave the office and take some time off. We never really have that problem. He's like, can you go on a vacation, please? Or go play golf? I mean, the only thing I probably do is play golf on like Friday afternoons.
I just want to see what he looks like recharged.
Yeah,
like, I mean, you have to go back and recharge, right? You got to go to Aruba, go to Florida.
I am a little more
Get some
tan
of that
this
family
year
time.
than usual.
You are.
A little more baseball with the kids, and golf's definitely helped out.
Yeah, you definitely got to, that's probably like 2 bits of advice. It's get a mentor early on in your life and smell the roses. Stop and you're busting your ass and just stop and smell the roses. Take advantage of everything that you're working for. Your coffin's going to look great. Your coffin's going to look fantastic, but you can't take the money with you. You can't take all the properties with you. Definitely take time to smell the roses and enjoy.
I think that's tough when you're trying to come up. Like I struggled with that the first couple of years when I started because you didn't want to miss anything. Like I had this like fear inside of me that if I wasn't there, somebody else was going to take it over, or somebody else was going to do this, or somebody else was going to answer the phone. So you just like go all the time, but you start to get burnt out after a while, and you have to be able to. I think once you can build those relationships and you have the people that you trust, it's okay to tell somebody, hey, I'm going to get back to you tomorrow because I'm out on the boat for it's Saturday at 5:00 in the afternoon. Like this can wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, banks are closed. Banks closed.
No one's doing it.
Yeah, Bristol County Savings is not opening up for you guys to come in and do your loan application. But
it's always a mad rush, but it doesn't always have to be.
And I think the people that do take the time out and smell the roses, they stay in the business longer. So how much more valuable do you become in this industry the longer you're in, right? The more people you get behind you, right? Because you didn't let yourself get burnt out and you didn't treat people like shit because you're running on fumes and lack of sleep. And I learned that from the restaurant business. It's like that business like burns you out. And I have so much respect for people in that industry. And there is no time. You're working every holiday, weekends. You never get time to smell the roses. Yeah, you get Tuesday and Wednesday off. If
you're lucky.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I tell people like now when you're in this business, like take the time, recharge, take care of yourself, go to the gym, go play around the golf, spend some time with your family, and you'll last longer in this business and you'll become more valuable in any industry. The guy that works himself up, works his way up the ladder and stays in the company, becomes the most valuable guy in the company. People get burnt out in our industries and they never get a chance to see how far they could have gone.
I think that's some really good advice.
Absolutely.
So you guys want to go get...
Yeah.
Let's go,
So I think now we got to have some tequila.
Kurt's got tea time in about 15 minutes.
I wish.
But I'm grateful for you guys letting me come on here, man. Good time.
Thank you, Uncle Ronnie.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Tell everybody how they can get a hold of you if they ever want to figure out how to be the #1 realtor in Massachusetts.
Ron Oliveira, 508-733-5931. You can look us up at teamrosso.remax.com. We have 5 locations. If you're looking to get into this industry, we're starting our new school. Come on in. I have no regrets. 25 years in the business, and I'd do it all over again.
Absolute legend. Thank you. See you guys next time.